Hi, everyone, and a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here for Sunday, November 30th. We've got NFL action dotting the landscape here today as our featured coverage, of course, and got some NBA as well. There's 4 games in the National Hockey League, and I'll try to find a couple of college plays to make some picks on here for Sunday, but thank you for joining me here on the show. We're going to talk mostly NFL football here for the next, I think we can get this one done in maybe 75 minutes. Oh, you know how I love to talk NFL football on a late Saturday night here in Las Vegas. We had a great day of college football on Saturday with some upsets out there and some big news and big wins. And we'll see. I think we've seen Lane Kiffin make his decision there last night after the final result was in with Alabama beating Auburn last night. It seems like Lane Kiffin will now pack his bags and head to Baton Rouge to take over the graveyard of head coaches LSU. He'll get a 7-year deal, it looks like, with the Tigers. Look, it hurts if you're an Ole Miss fan. It looked like there for a moment that maybe you could hang on to Coach Kiffin and the job he's done there. Yeah, maybe he never fulfills his total expectations, but he brings excitement to your program. He can get the program in the national spotlight, and he'll get that chance once again to resurrect LSU, a team where, you get coaches in there and they get hot for a while and they cool off fast, or they've had some controversy too with the last couple of go-rounds, obviously, but they'll take their chances here with Kiffin as the coach. That looks to be announced probably tomorrow early on. Kiffin going to LSU, 7-year deal reported by plenty of the beat writers. They felt bad for old Marty Smith hanging out there all night, didn't get the scoop that he wanted, but I think we got the news here late that that's indeed what will happen. All right, and hey, some great results as well from the SEC, from college football on Saturday, and of course the game, Ohio State. Greg had it. You had it, Greg, in the chat. Ohio State over Michigan. The Bucks win it 27-9 in a light snow and snap the 4-game losing skid to their arch rival. Michigan scored on 3 of the first 4 drives with 3 field goals, and definitely gave them the best they had. But I think Ohio State was much the best this year. Obviously, Michigan looked more interested in fighting or getting into it and not focusing as much on the game. Michigan, for the rest of the game, didn't have any points after the 9 points. So Ohio State gets that win there. And the cover yesterday, laying those double digits. Great job by Ohio State. And, they're obviously a big-time contender for the national title. And like I said, I'm still a huge Julian Sayin fan, and he's surprised me nicely this year with the great job that he's done. He's obviously a composed young man and very thoughtful, and quite frankly, it looks like a big star to me here. He's not that overpowering gunslinger there, and I don't know if he'll ever be, but he's a pretty good college quarterback at Ohio State. All right, you saw there kind of late night there with Alabama getting that win over Auburn. And not only that, they got the money. I think that was just as important for gamblers here as they covered that spread there in the 27-20 win over Auburn. Alabama drove 75 yards, got that game go-ahead score with under 4 minutes to go. Alabama led 17-0, and now Alabama will take on Georgia for the SEC title on next Saturday. Georgia and Alabama. I'm not saying we saw it coming, but there it is in the end. It is still Georgia and Alabama. Also, SEC, big news, Vanderbilt rocks Tennessee. Diego Pavia, 268 yards, but he ran for 165 yards. And game was tied at 21 at halftime, and Vanderbilt has a 10-win season. Terrific job. We did have the over here on Night Moves last night, and it did go over that 66 there yesterday with the 45-24 win for Vanderbilt. Huge win there for the Commodores to beat up on their in-state foes, Volunteers. And like I said, the key there was in Knoxville, doing it on the road, and Pavia ran his Heisman odds much lower here right now. I don't know where you want to look here, but Pavia has been terrific. He's much more the complete quarterback than guys like Julian Sayin. So, hey, maybe so, Diego. Like I said, I think his pro prospects are terrific, actually. Also, we had, how about Duke and their victory, as well as Duke goes into the title game. Hey, I had them over at Tony's Picks as one of my premium picks, as Duke will go on to compete in the ACC title game against Virginia. It really came about because of California's win last night over SMU. The Golden Bears led that one 31-14. A minute into the fourth quarter, SMU rallied to take the lead, but Cal scored a go-ahead touchdown with 43 seconds left. The Mustangs had a 52-yarder that would have sent it to overtime. Instead, Duke is in the title game against Virginia. And, a Duke win over Virginia, since Duke is just 7-5 this year, would likely put James Madison into the FBS playoffs. And man, wouldn't you like to see James Madison in there, a team that's won FCS titles? They're obviously mashing everybody in sight. Yeah, they would be outclassed, but if there was one team out of these teams that have just graduated up here, even from the group of five, you'd have to think that James Madison, why not? I mean, they're smashing all comers right now. They beat Coastal today, absolutely drilled them, covering 24 on the road. So maybe James Madison could find their way in and be a Cinderella story. Even with one win, that'd be terrific if they could get into the playoff and beat somebody there in the opening round. So did see a little things shake out a little bit with the FBS playoffs here and what we're going to be seeing here, but also got to wait for those title games a little bit. Had a winner here on the show yesterday talking about Troy and their win over Southern Miss. Goose Crowder was back, and he threw for 3 touchdown passes as Troy outgained Southern Miss by 125 yards, and Troy will play James Madison in the Sun Belt title game next weekend. Good luck to the Trojans. They're going to need it. Other upsets, Georgia Southern, 9.5-point dog, beat Marshall. UAB got a win, another upset win for UAB. They had a couple of upsets there after firing Trent Dilfer. They beat Tulsa as a 7-point dog. They beat them by 7. Army over UTSA as a 7.5-point dog as well. So also Middle Tennessee, a slight upset over New Mexico State in overtime. And hey, I had some winners over at Tony's Picks today. I went 4-2, having a pretty good run right now on the website. I'm going to take you over there right now and let you see what's going on over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine. Take a look at the handicapper leaderboards here and see who's hot. How about nephew here, Justin McKelvey, 8-2 on Saturday. Great day for Justin. See the other guys in the crew up there. You had Solo going 5-1, Tony T 3-1. There's Millsy 3-1. I'm down there at 4-2. These guys just had a terrific day. I've been coming in hot, though. See Brian Palmer with a couple of wins there as well. Take a look at the handicapper leaderboards over the last 7 days. You'll find me on top for once. Let me be on top of and me and Justin, why not team us up in the 2-for-1 capper promotion? You'd only be 61-34 in the last 7 days. Great job by Justin. I'm up there at 33-19 on a good roll here over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off those daytime packages, or get with me long-term here with the 3-day pass for $99 or my weekly pass for $149. I'm going to bring it home here this weekend and have a great NFL Sunday as well. I'm going to be heavy in the props in that primetime game. You can best believe that over at Tony'sPicks.com. So head on over there, check out the handicapper leaderboard, see who's hot, and then get signed up. All right, and we'll get into our previews here in just a moment for the action here on Sunday. But let me say hello to the folks in the chat who's joining me here today. Really appreciate all. And let's see who is here. With Mr. Westers is here, of course. Thank you, Mr. Westers. Hey, what happened to our Suns there, right? What happened in the NBA here on Saturday? I know we had some winners here on Night Moves last night for sure. We had the Boston Celtics there. They got the money against the Wolves. Wolves won it, but we had the Celtics plus the points. We had the Charlotte Hornets on Saturday. Yeah, we did. Hornets getting it done. They're getting the money anyway. They won the game, actually, 118-111 in overtime over Toronto. We had that one here on Night Moves. Also, we had the Indiana Pacers yesterday, plus the points over the Bulls, 103-101 for another winner here on Night Moves. Also, winner here with the Milwaukee Bucks. We had them to blast the Brooklyn Nets here on Night Moves yesterday. Also brought home a winner with the under, the Pelicans and the Warriors. Did we win them all? No. We had the Phoenix Suns, Mr. Westers as well there. But some good winners here on the show yesterday on Night Moves in the NBA. And we'll look at tonight's card as well. Happen to like the card here very much. There's Jerry. He said it would be Ohio State in a blowout. And, Michigan just not enough with Underwood here and just too much. Plus, once the wide receivers were in for Ohio State, those guys make Julian Sam look pretty good. Ohio State always has the great wide receivers. You know that. And, he's calling me a sucker in here because I was on Big Blue. And, Alabama, I had Auburn. So these teams played pretty okay but I was on the losing end of these here. Let's see here. And there's LALB talking Lakers basketball there. Oh, I think for tonight there, right? Mr. Westers wants NHL first. And Mr. 4600, thank you for being here. Hello to Ziggy there in the chat, Ziggy. Thank you for coming by, Ziggy. Hey, you could follow Ziggy on X. Come on, get his plays every day. I have my notifications set when Ziggy makes his plays, so I'm always watching for what Ziggy has. And see who else is stopping in to hang out. Oh, Steven's Picks. There he is. Hey, Steve, good to see you in the chat. Nice to see you there. Oh, he's on Insta now. Great. And thank you for recommending to like and subscribe to the channel. Hello to Keith Just Truth as well. And Steven says, how about my Laval Rocket? They've been hot there, he says. And what happened there on were they off on Saturday? They won in the shootout over the Phantoms. Okay, Stephen, I see you. Andrew Wingfield's in the chat as well. And thank you, Andrew. Hey, we're going to try to get some winners. I do like this card. And I've been on a little bit of a roll. And Danielle Greer, nice to see you. You know what? That was a big controversy there with that headbutt, right? And they got 6 chances at the goal line when they kept stopping them. And just it just shows you what that game, even as a player. I mean, you can scold the kid afterwards, say, what are you doing? And you know what? A lot of times these guys are, men here. He probably should have gotten ejected, Daniel. But you know what? He really didn't. He may have brushed the ref with that. And I think the referees, hey, you're repping the Ohio State-Michigan game. Yeah, there was some shaky calls in there too, but you don't want a kid to go out and you don't want to decide that, he didn't get injured. If the ref went down, you know what? He would have been out. but it really was just a reactionary thing, and the emotions are so high in that game there. I know we know, having watched that game year after year, it's always a great game, and for once it went Ohio. I guess Ryan Day can keep his job one more year since he won the game finally over Michigan. All right, Ron, Jeff, hello. All right, I'm gonna. NHL last night. We had plenty of winners here on Night Moves again. Hopefully, you guys are looking for those winners. We had the Lightning over the Rangers here on the show. We had the over in the Canadiens and Avalanche game. Avalanche blew them out again. We had the Oilers on the road over the Kraken. How about that one yesterday here on the show? We had the Flyers on the road over the Devils here. We had the Leafs as well over the Penguins. So more winners on Night Moves. How about Buffalo over Minnesota after Minnesota won that big game? We went with Buffalo here on the show yesterday. How about that one? We had the over with the Sharks and the Knights as well. I think that's a profitable card for sure. All right, late night. If you missed it, they're in college football. Real quick, just a couple more here. I want to dole out was because we did have the winner on Night Moves there with Oregon over Washington. But how about Oregon State and Washington State? They played for the second time this season. And you know what? It was Washington State. They're getting the convincing victory. They'll share the Pac-12 championship at 1-1 this season in their 2-game series. And how about Stanford? They did get the money last night against Notre Dame. Notre Dame was going for a little bit of style points, but I want to shout out Charlie Meyer, the son of former Notre Dame quarterback Rick Meyer. He got in the game for Stanford. He's a senior. I watched this kid play in high school, and he was a senior, and he got his first game action in the game for Stanford through a touchdown pass in the fourth quarter. That was cool to see here. And we had some other picks, winners over at Tony's Picks yesterday. I want to mention Northwestern and Illinois. We had the under in that one in that snowstorm there. Got pretty white in that field, and that helped it go under there as we had a winner over at Tony's with the game between Northwestern and Illinois, and we also had Duke as another winner over there as part of our package there on Saturday. As we keep going here right now, talk about that little bit of hot streak here for me currently, and I'm going to keep it up here on Sunday. Other winner I had yesterday was in college basketball over on the website, Pacific minus 10.5 over Sacramento State, and I also had Kentucky and Louisville college football game to go under there yesterday as part of my 4-2 day. But we're going to be good and done here in the NFL on Sunday. And we'll also squeeze in a couple of college basketball games. Another not so great card, but all right. And Jerry, right? They had a little bit of, I thought the players behaved pretty well for an Ohio State Michigan game there yesterday. All right, let's get started here with the National Football League on Sunday. We got a nice card here, including early action, a 7-game card, a 3-game afternoon card, and then the night game between the Broncos and the Commanders. But let's get started here. You guys are welcome to comment in the chat. I usually flash the comments from you guys, the picks anyway, when you guys call me square or dummy or something. I don't put that on the screen, but you're welcome to do that too. But if you have some picks, I'll put them on the screen. You can become famous. Here we've got a few dozen of you in here already, so let's get rolling, shall we? And get started here with an important game in this one with the Texans taking on the Colts here on Sunday, a division matchup here with the Colts at home, favored by 3, total 44.5. The Colts have been brought back down to earth a little bit here of late, make no mistake, but still riding pretty high. And the Texans, at least they'll have their quarterback in here today, and that could make a difference. Their defense has been pretty terrific here. We're talking about Houston's defense and C.J. Stroud returning to the lineup here for Houston. That is an upgrade over Davis Mills. You could say that, Davis Mills, more of a pocket passer. He looks more poised in there, looks calm in there. But honestly, it's still the man you want in there is C.J. Stroud, despite the winning streak. I think that shows it all, right? Because Mills has been in there, and Houston's won these, the 3 games in a row here right now, but still going to go back to Stroud when he's ready, especially on the road here against the Colts. Now, Colts have lost 2 of their last 3, and it seems like all of a sudden panic is starting to settle in or something like that. I wouldn't be so sure of that. They're still in first place in the division at 8-3. They're likely to make the playoff. They win this game. I mean, they're nearly a lock for the postseason. They are favored here at home by 3.5. The total here, 46.5 between these two. So look, you might think Houston's got that solid defense here right now. The Colts do a good job defensively too. Their defense has been quite underrated, it feels like, so far. This season is part of their build-up to, leading the division here right now. But Texans here, the last 3 wins, they were close games. They win by 7, by 3, and by 4 here. They're also 12-9 ATS. Last 21 is a road underdog here. The Colts, they are under Steichen here, 13-11 ATS as an underdog. The Texans are 4-1-1 in the last 6 series games, but Houston won their last 3 visits here into Indianapolis by 1, by 4, and by 2 points. But the bottom line is they won the road games in here. They won last year's game 29-27 as a 3-point favorite. The Colts actually got the money, and they won in the end of the 23-24 season, 23-19 as a 1.5 point favorite. They won the year before that in here 32-31. So they've all been close. 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams have gone under. So far, divisional favorites are hanging in there against the spread. They do have the upper hand at this point. 16-11 are home teams against the spread so far this season as a divisional home favorite. Houston is 1-4 against the spread on the road. The Colts are 4-1 against the spread at home. This one maybe is, I have it 3 there, but it's kind of juiced, right, to lay that 3 right now. DraftKings has it 3.5. I like the Colts in this game. You might want to make sure you're on the 3 there. Hey, if you want to play the money line, that's fine too. But I'm playing the Indianapolis Colts here. I think the I don't want to say the sharps are necessarily on the Texans. I think the talking heads are on the Texans a little bit, thinking that defense is going to be able to travel here in the hot streak that they're on, and getting Stroud back. There might be some in that crowd that will say that why would you bench Davis on the winning streak, and Stroud definitely having some ups and downs here right now. But look, the Texans know what they need to do as far as the quarterback position is concerned. You're not the head coach. Colts have gone over their team total in 8 of their 11 games so far this season. The one thing the Texans do terrific, they are plus 13 in the turnover department in their last 8 games here right now. So they've also held 7 of their last 9 opponents to under 300 yards. But I'm going to take the Colts here. I think they get the money, actually, and I'm going to lay it here. Yeah, I'm probably going to get off the hook if I need to in this one. Everything you hear about the Texans, I think it's believable, right, about their defense. And again, they are playing a lot better here right now. And hey, they're in the playoff hunt, no doubt about it. They know they have motivation here as the team that's in 8th place here right now and can improve their playoff chances dramatically. They're just shy of 50% to make the postseason right now. If they win this game, they're going to have a 2/3 chance of making the postseason according to the metrics. But I like the Colts to get back on track here a little bit. I still think that they're a pretty decent club here, and I'm going to take Indianapolis here and lay the points. I want to hear from you in the chat on this game and every game here. All right. Let's see here. Ziggy likes the Colts with me. He says take them against the spread. Andrew's ready to get some tennis going on here today. I love it, Andrew. Love to hear some plays here. Let's see. Houston, Mr. Wesker says Houston has a 5% chance. Oh, okay. I stand corrected then. I have them currently at near 50% chance to make the postseason here right now, mostly because you have, the Jaguars in here at 7-4. The Texans pass them up. That's where I think that they get in. So I didn't know it was that low. I thought they had a much better chance. Thank you, Mr. Weskers. They have to win 6 in a row to help with those 5 losses. Yeah, 12. I mean, 12-5 is definitely getting you in, Mr. Wesker. I think the Texans can get in here, with a record of 10-7, or they could even be the last team in with a 9-8 record, depending on that second go round there. I'll tell you the one team I'm really down on here to maybe, Seattle has been so high. We'll talk about them here, but Seattle, if they wanted to win the Super Bowl, given their situation and how they'll finish the season with 2 games, they would have to win 6 straight road games if you count the Super Bowl as a road game. That sounds difficult. Jerry's on Indiana here. And Ron Jeff says, will the Texans keep it close? And hey, Dylan Wadley, nice to see you in the chat. He says, what's up with the Steelers and the Bills game? I'm going to tell you what's up with that game in a little bit. All right. And Mr. Weskers, he's high on that Jag. There's no doubt, Mr. Weskers, if the Jags still take off, because I don't think the Bills are going to necessarily. They're in 7th, but only because they're behind the Jaguars here a little bit right now, and behind the Chargers, and those teams have it more. In fact, if anything, I think the Steelers are the team that are the most vulnerable right now, because if the Ravens keep coming, it's the Steelers that are going to fall out of favor, I think, right? Because they're 6-5 right now. And of course, the Ravens are 6-6. So I think if the Steelers actually fall out of the playoffs, that opens it up for the Texans possibly to find their way in. Or again, like I said, I just thought they had a better chance than that. So my bad. Okay, let's go on to the next one here. And we've got the Arizona Cardinals are on the road here, taking on the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now, the Tampa Bay Bucks are 6-5, Arizona 3-8 coming in, but both teams are nursing 3-game losing streaks coming in here. Arizona lost at Seattle, at home to San Francisco, at home to Jacksonville. They were dogs in all those games, and they failed to cover the spread. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, 3 consecutive losses to New England at home, at Buffalo, and at the Rams. So they were dogs in the last 2 of those games and didn't cover there. So they're kind of struggling. But Arizona is 4-1 against the spread on the road. Tampa's just 1-3 against the spread at home, but I don't like the Cardinals in this matchup necessarily. We just talked about the playoff picture here a little bit, right? And over the NFC, the Buccaneers sitting in first place, but just 6-5 here right now. And they look pretty solid because in the division, they have the advantage here over the Carolina Panthers for sure, and Atlanta's toast. So really all they have to do is get by Atlanta here to get it going. And, Arizona's been toast here for a while. So I don't know if this is a great situation necessarily for the Arizona Cardinals, despite some success in this role. We looked at this matchup here a little deeper and see if we can dig in here a little bit. Cardinals with that losing streak. They've lost 8 of their last 9. In their last 3 games, they've given up 44, 41, and 27 points. So you'd think the Buccaneers here can get at least upwards of, 4 touchdowns, I would think, in this game. Arizona's played a lot of close games. So when you're getting nearly a touchdown. 8 of 11 games for Arizona were decided by a touchdown or less. The Cardinals are also 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 as a road underdog. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers, they've been forcing turnovers. Mayfield, he does have kind of a bum shoulder here a little bit. We've seen him tugging at it, and he was on the injured list, but he'll be in there going up here against Jacoby Brissett here on Sunday. Tampa Bay 12-5-1 against the spread. Their last 18 coming in off of a loss. They've gone over in all 4 home games this season. Arizona's a bit of an over team as well. They're 5-3 to the over as an underdog, although they are 2-3 to the under on the road. The Buccaneers have won the last 2 in the series, but both by just 3 points each time. This spread has gone down big time here from the opener, maybe because of the status here possibly of Mayfield, I would guess. I mean, we know Brissett was going to be in there for sure, but to see this line go all the way down from 3.5 when a lot of the sharp books open it up as, or a lot of books open it up as 6 points. The Cardinals, DeMercado's out of this game. Benson is out of this game. Yeah, they did return a little bit, their running game, but Harrison, remember, he had the appendectomy. Now he is probable in this game here, and Baker is probable. He's just banged up a little bit. Even Bucky Irving, he's questionable for this game. He's getting close in there. Tristan Wirfs is in. Man, I think the Buccaneers are gonna. I think they're gonna put it down here on the Cardinals here on Sunday. I like the Bucks. The Cardinals are always a decent underdog. I know that, but I think the Bucks still have the team here right now. The Cardinals are having some issues, I think, right now. Let's see what you've got here in the chat. The Bucks won. The last time they met was in 2022. Bucks won 1960. Mentioned those 2 games. They actually aren't even in this kind of this player cycle a little bit. It's been quite a while. All right, let's see what you got here in this one. And Mr. Wesker, he's concerned about Baker. Danielle says, are you not concerned about it? No, I think he'll be in there. He is listed as probable here. You don't want to get him beat up or banged up with that shoulder right now, but as long as he can sling it here, I think the Bucks are going to roll here actually this week. I'm going to take him here. And that total is 44.5 here. Oh, man, that looks pretty juicy, too. I think the Bucks are going to score some points on this Cardinals team here on Sunday. And the Cardinals may get their share on the back end. I still think the Bucks clear this one by at least a touchdown. Like I said, the opener was a touchdown here, and it's been pretty hardcore money here on the Cardinals here this week. And the over for Dylan here. Yeah, Dylan, I'm probably with you on that one. All right, the Jacksonville Jaguars going on the road here to take on the Tennessee Titans. Oh, boy, Titans come in here 1-10 right now, and the massive losing streak doesn't seem like it's going to get any better anytime soon. Even if the defense does show up a little bit and keep them in the game, they always find a way. Cam Ward, moments of brilliance. I still think you're going to stay with Cam Ward if you've committed to him for this long. You're not worried about this season. You want to get him the experience here. And like I said, there have been moments where you do think that there is hope for Cam, but also, there's been moments of where it looks like he belongs on the football follies sometimes. Hopefully, those times are gone in the past here this season, and Cam will kind of keep it going here right now, and at least continue to improve here, because this is a bad streak here. They've lost 6 in a row, but hey, they've gone 3-3 against the spread. In fact, they've covered all 3 of their last games at home in this right now. So Jacksonville was won 3 of their last 5. They're averaging 30 points a game in those 5 games. Got to cut down the turnovers here a little bit against a Tennessee team that they've had their share of success forcing turnovers, but it's kind of neutralized here of late. Jaguars here, 7-3 against the spread last 10 AFC division road games, but still laying a touchdown here to Tennessee, a team, like I said, that is covering a little bit here of late. Jacksonville, a good cover, though, as a favorite, 3-1 in their 4 games as a favorite. Tennessee just 3-3 ATS at home this season. Jacksonville's 5-0 to the over on the road this season. Tennessee's 5-1 to the over at home. I like the under in this game. What am I going to do? I mean, usually when I see a series, teams that are, venue specific like this, I usually get pretty excited and kind of jump on it. But I don't know if that's going to happen here. And I think the total, I don't know if it's inflated here because of those numbers, or the fact that we've seen Titans here go over in 7 of their last 10 games, or 7-4 overall to the over this season. But I'm going under, actually, in that one. Probably shouldn't get all, I want to be fair and recite some of these great trends, but I'm actually bucking these trends here, and I'm going to go under here with the Jaguars and the Titans in this one. But I want to hear from you in the chat, and maybe who do you like in this one with Jacksonville and Tennessee? Here we go in the chat. Jacksonville currently in the 6th position in the playoff picture. Mr. Wesker says, I don't even understand the line here. And Ziggy likes the Titans here, plus those points at home. All right. And that's it from you guys in the chat. So I'll move on. I'm on the under. Yeah. All right. Here's the Rams on the road, taking on the Panthers here in this one. Hey, we know the Panthers have had a pretty nice run of it here this season, doing a pretty good job. I mean, like we said, right now they're on the cusp of the postseason. If they could just get around the Bengals, they have a slim, right now about a 15% chance here. It'll slightly increase if they could come up with an upset win here against the Rams on Sunday. Rams come in here, meanwhile, 9-2, looking every bit the part of maybe the best. Eagles, hey, good job. They have some issues there, obviously. The Lions have their share of issues. Every team, I guess, you could point out, the Packers are looking pretty good, but there's a reason why the Rams continue to move up in the odds, it feels like right now, with their hot streak coming in. Carolina, yeah, they're inconsistent, but they're Carolina. Like I said, this is probably going to go down as a successful season for the Carolina Panthers. It is a short week. They played the Niners on Monday night here, of course. Carolina here, 15-10 against the spread. Last 25 as a home underdog, 5-0 against the spread this year, coming in off of a loss. The Rams have won the last 2 in this series, 24-10 and 30-27, although this is the Rams' first trip in here since the pandemic. This has gone under in 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams. Rams are pretty solid under this year with that great defense. 3-7 to the under as a favorite, although 3-1 to the over on the road. Carolina's trickled over here a little bit this season. However, 4 of the last 5 games for Carolina, they've been held under 270 yards here. for the Rams. The last 7 games, they've outscored opponents in the first half 126-42. You could say the scripted drives are doing well, but hey, those drives count too. The Rams are 17-8 in their last 25 against the spread. As a favorite, they're also 17-9 against the spread, last 27 off of a win. Rams have gone over in their team total in 7 of their last 10 games coming in to this one. And I'll go to the chat and see what you guys have here in this matchup. Pretty big number, and it's gone up here past the 10 mark, 10.5. It opened some 9.5, so it did pass over this key number. Panthers have played well. It seems like they get the money at home. That the Rams have been on fire. I'm going under in this one as my pick here on Night Moves. Give me the under of that Rams defense. I think they'll be going to corral the Panthers here a little bit, and they may even get the money on the road. But I'm not going to stick you here and tell you to lay some double digits necessarily, but that'd probably be the way that I'd go. But I'm going to take the under here as my official pick on Night Moves. Let's see what you guys have here in the chat. Ziggy does like the Panthers here. Mr. Wester's like the Panthers. So, okay, good thing I'm on the total here because my 2 guys here participating with me with the chat all-stars do like the Panthers here. So I'll back off a little bit with my proclamation of the Rams. I mean, they've been covering numbers, though, guys. I mean, they've, clobbered Tampa by 27 as a 7.5-point favorite. They beat up on the Rams by 16 as a 5.5-point favorite. They beat the Saints as a 14-point favorite, covered that number. They covered against Jacksonville as a 3-point favorite, dusted them on the road. Only the Seattle game they didn't cover, and they still won that game. That's how it's been going here for the Rams. But no doubt, Carolina, great job covering these games here at home for the most part. Rams team total over here for Keith, Just Truth. All right, here you go. You got the Saints coming in, taking on the Dolphins here in a matchup of also Rams at this point. I don't think although the Dolphins are showing signs of life here with a couple wins in a row, they'd have to win them all here pretty much on the way out. The Saints, meanwhile, they coming in off a loss, but they did beat Carolina a couple weeks ago, but lost to Atlanta last week at home, 24-10. Saints have been a big disappointment, 2-7 against the spread as an underdog. Miami, at least, has covered some numbers here of late, and they're 3-2 against the spread at home. But man, I don't know if I want to lay anything here with the Dolphins. Funny that the spread has seemed to move a little bit in the favor of the Saints here. Circa opened it up at 6, it says here, and it moved to 4.5. So the move has been on the Saints. I kind of want to trust the Saints as well here in this one, because I don't know if the Dolphins, I mean, look, the Saints are still, we're trying to figure out what's, with Tyler Shuck in there right now. Look, it's not great, but you know what? Maybe he is better than Spencer Rattler from what we've seen so far, right? Saints here, though, 3-8 to the under this season, 3-6 to the under as a dog, but Miami's 3-1 to the over as a favorite here, and this total at 41.5 now. I got to go over in this one at 41.5 for sure here. That's my play. Look, I want to get on the Saints probably here, and I'm going to find a way to get on the Saints, but I think the more solid play for me is going to be on the over here in this one. Give me over. This one's gone down here for sure from 43 to 41.5 here. I do show DraftKings 42.5 shaded to the under, and there's some 42s out there, but it's definitely gone. The move is to the under. I'm going over with the Saints and the Dolphins here on Sunday. Let's see what you say in the chat. in this one. Okay, Mr. Weskers, I'm not going. Man, me and Mr. Weskers are not clicking here in the NFL. But what else is new? Ziggy does. He likes the Dolphins as well. Okay, good thing I'm on the total again because obviously I'm not agreeing with the Saints are terrible, but I don't know if you know that Miami's pretty bad. Hey, if anybody's been on Miami, that right, I come on here every time and say, "Oh man, I still love Mike McDaniel. I think Mike McDaniel still, and I still believe that. I am a Mike McDaniel guy." But I don't. They're not great at covering numbers here, and I think this one probably just be a bad game. That probably we see some bad play, and it comes down to a field goal or something like that. So that's what Mr. Wesker did say too. All right, and missing DeAndre here tonight. I was hoping he could make it. We could ask him about what the feeling is tonight. I would imagine the LSU fans, uh, other than the boosters that keep having to spend the money on getting a new coach here and paying these other coaches to leave. Uh, Hopefully they have enough money left for the players. And that was one of the things that Kippen said about, or at least the intimation was, hey, if I come over to LSU, are we going to be able to pay these players? And I would think you'd have just as good a chance of getting some top talent in there like you would at Ole Miss. Remember last night on the show, I was reporting that could Kippen leave LSU at the altar. Turns out he kind of just, you know what, let's give these coaches, they've had to move on, right? The way it's all set up, everybody knows it's all messed up, right? You should be able to not have to worry about the coaches. Let them coach through the bowl games. Why do we have to sign the coaches before the bowl game and the playoffs now? Why do we have to do that? He wanted to coach in the playoff, and he wanted to delay going to LSU. You know what? He might have a chance to do that. It's just, it's awkward, right? Because you're signed up with another team, you're coaching this team, but you put all that work in, man. Why can't we just do it? Why can't we just do it? We just do whatever we want anyways. All right. All right, we got to talk about this one. Falcons and the Jets here. Falcons come in 4-7. They're a road favorite because they're just the Falcons. They're just so great, and they're taking on the Jets. I don't know if the Falcons are any better than the Jets. I don't. I honestly think the Jets might have a better team from top to bottom. Look, I mean, I think Penix has done an okay job. I love Bijan. I love Pitts in there as well, and they've got great receivers here with Atlanta as well with the Drake London. Even though, let's check the injury report a little bit here for the game on Sunday and see what we're dealing with here. As I mentioned, Penix, we know he's out, but we get Kirk Cousins, of course, and let's see here. It's okay, so. London is not on the injured list at all here this week, or what? Yeah, there he is. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's still out with that knee injury. So these are key, you got Cousins on the road, whatever, and you got no Drake London here, and you got some issues right now with, I didn't see Kadero Hodge, though. He's going to be probable here for Atlanta. And for the Jets here, Lazard, questionable. Brownlee is doubtful for this game, but I don't know if I mind these injuries here for the Jets here in this one. Come on, I don't see it this way at all. I mean, I'll tell you right now, before I even read off a bunch of meaningless statistics, I'm going to be on the Jets here, probably on the money line to get a win here over the Falcons. The Falcons have been dismal. They just snapped a losing streak with a win last time out over the Saints on the road, at least 24-10. They kind of dominated them. But for the Jets here, they lost to Baltimore, but they got the money, 23-10. They got the money in that one. They lost to the Patriots, just barely missed the money by half a point. They got the money in a win over Cleveland, of course, at home. They beat Cincinnati in that incredible game that I raved about Fields, and everyone laughed at me. But, you're going to have Ty God in here this week, however, for the Jets. And, I'd actually, rather see Fields in there, but we're getting Taylor here this week in at quarterback for the Jets. So if anything, I'm kind of like, hey, I'd rather have Fields in there this week. But I still am taking the Jets here to win this game. Atlanta's 1-4 against the spread as a favorite here this season. The Jets are 6-3 against the spread as an underdog. Atlanta's 1-3 to the under on the road here, and man, I think points will be hard to come by. Actually, this one has gone down from 39 down to 38 or so here, but I think for me, the preferred play is going to be the Jets, and I'm probably going to look to take them on the money line here. Atlanta did snap that losing streak, but they're 3-7 in their last 11 as a road favorite, 5-12 ATS, last 17 off of a win, 6-11 against the spread, last 17 interconference games. They have gone over in 3 of their last 4. The Jets come in here, meanwhile, bad numbers spread-wise. I can't really sell you on any trends here. 11-17 ATS is a home dog. 6-20 ATS in interconference games. Atlanta's dominated the series, but the teams meet only once every few years. I'm going to take the Jets here to win this game. JETS. Let's see if anybody agrees with me on this one. All right. Here we go. Jets money line for Mr. Weskers. Me and Mr. Wesker is going to be going for it here. Danielle says we saw those temperatures today. Mr. Wesker, this isn't the oldest matchup though in NFL history. Jets for Ziggy here, and also Keith Just Truth says Jets. All right, I knew it. I knew we would be on the Jets together, gang. All right, last of the early starts here. So 49ers on the road here, laying it against the Browns in an awkward start time for them, it feels like, actually. And look, this one's moved in the Browns' favor, no doubt about it. I mean, the Niners opened up here at minus 6.5 or so, it felt like, maybe 7 at circa. We're down to 5.5 here right now. Yeah, the Niners, we saw all those weaknesses a little bit in that last game with the injuries here that have been plaguing this team that really has made them, have a subpar season as far as Niners are concerned. I mean, they're still having a strong year. Don't get me wrong. The Niners are very much alive at this point. 8-4 here right now. Yeah, you're in that super tough division, but you got to think that they're going to make the playoffs if they can just get a little bit healthy. They're missing some key guys here all season, for the rest of the season, and they're, going to be. I think they'll make it. In fact, their chances increase here to over 90% with a win here over the Browns on the road. But watch out. We know what the Browns do well, and that's get to the quarterback. And, well, we saw with Brock Purdy, he's not maybe looking quite as mobile here, but you do have Shedeur Sanders in there this week. And, look, I want to root. I rooted for Shedeur. I said, hey, I want this guy to do well. And, hey, say what you will. I think it was a pretty good performance there. The throw on the run looked terrific. I think they definitely has some limitations right now. I mean, that was one game, okay? And you kind of want to say, hey, maybe the Browns at first, you're like, maybe they're right? Because remember the 4-16 performance, but you know what? He got in there, and you're kind of like, you know what? Maybe these guys, maybe it's the Browns being the Browns. Maybe Shedeur is a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's only the son of one of the best football players in the history of the game. I think it's safe to say Deion Sanders. Say what couldn't tackle anybody, but he was a game changer and a game maker. And I know half the crowd's not going to like Deion anyways, but he seemed to raise a pretty good son. And I think his comments always caution and reserve. Yeah, maybe he's got a little bit of trouble saying the wrong thing here and there as a young man, but I don't know. I'm kind of on the side of I like this dude here. I don't know if you could get the job. I want to take the Browns here actually in this game, plus 5 points, and I'm going to take Cleveland here and root for Shedeur. But I'm going to I'm going to think that this turns out to be kind of a slugfest. You guys talked already the weather, right? It feels like this is the weather game here. What we saw yesterday in Columbus here. Maybe we can get the latest from AccuWeather here right now for this one, or you guys can tell me. You already talked about the weather there in New York today with precipitation likely and temperatures in the mid 40s there in that one. And here in Cleveland, sunny skies, temperature 36 degrees. So that doesn't sound awful at all. Windy, though, gusty, windy, bad wind. 25-mile-an-hour winds. So that definitely reeks of under here. And when you get a windy game, yes, you do got some CMC. You're going to have to run it here, of course. But, hey, you also got some Quinshon Judkins, don't you? Judkins has been one of the breakout stars of the league, it feels like here. Or maybe he hasn't quite broken out yet, right? He's had some nice games for sure. It was great against Vegas, I thought, last week. 2 touchdowns in that game. So, he's not the best option, but he's unheralded. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns here, plus the points against the 49ers here. Look, I'm still back in the 40. I've been one that's kind of saying the 49ers will still be the 49ers because of because of Lynch, because of this organization, they can still have a good season despite some brutal injuries on the defensive side of the football that has obviously exposed their defenses this season right now and making their season pretty difficult. But I think for me in this one, I'm going to try the Browns. Maybe the wind will have enough of a randomness factor because they're not really producing much offense with Sanders. You wonder how much they can really get done. They haven't had 300 yards, I don't think, in the last 6 games and 7. But the Browns in that pass rush been incredible, and I think you're going to see Purdy going down a lot. Browns are 4-0 against the spread at home so far this season. I mean, that's important right there. Although the Niners are 5-2 against the spread on the road. So Browns also 10-6 against the spread. Their last 17 is a home dog. The home team wins this series, but again, they don't play frequently enough. Although the 49ers have lost their last 3 trips to play Cleveland. Niners are also 4-0 against the spread as a road favorite this season, but San Francisco 2-11 against the spread. Last 13 games coming in off of a win. Let's go to the chat. All right. And Mr. Weskers actually likes the Niners here. Extendo. Ziggy's with me on the Browns. Mr. Weskers said probably should put Mac Jones back in, right? It seems like it. And Gabriel, bye, Gabriel. Bye, Gabriel. Look, we'll see if Sanders is, and Ziggy says Shedeur gets a bad rap because of Dion. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. And Niners are a step up from playing the Raiders, right? No doubt about it. Shedeur took advantage of maybe the worst team in the league to have an okay performance. And you're going up now against a very, very good 49er team. But hopefully the win gets in there, messes things up. I'm going to take the Browns. I'm going to take the Browns here in this one. All right, good. All right, let's go to the afternoon card here right now with the Vikings on the road taking on the Seahawks. This spread has gone absolutely through the roof here this week. The Seahawks opened as low as 7.5. Were there 7s out there? There were definitely 7.5s, but J.J. McCarthy officially out of this game with a concussion. So you're going to get Max Brosner in here right now. A big step down here to go with Brosmer in this one. So the Seahawks are favored here by 12.5 and 41.5 right now. This total's dipped here a little bit. Seahawks spread's gone up by like 5 points, and the total's dipped by 2 points. So what you're expecting here, in this game, something along the lines of like 27-14 would be right along the lines here of that. But we'll see if Brosmer can really produce these kind of numbers to keep him in the game here at all. Actually, it's going to be pretty tough, I would think, here for him to keep them in this game against the Seahawks at home here. So, you got to lay an inflated line here, but could be a long day here for the Minnesota Vikings and that offense. They've lost 3 in a row coming in right now to Baltimore, Chicago, and Green Bay. Underdogs in 2 of them did not cover. They also failed as a dog to the Chargers. Seattle, meanwhile, they just failed in a game in this similar role. They were on the road favored by 12.5 against Tennessee in a 30-24 win that actually snapped a cover streak for Seattle, even though they did lose that game to LA 2 weeks ago. They did cover in that one. So I'm probably going to lay it with the Seahawks to get more than a 2-touchdown victory here over the Vikings. Seahawks are 6-2 against the spread as a favorite this season. Vikings are 2-4 against the spread as an underdog. Vikings 3-1 to the over on the road. Seahawks 4-1 to the over at home, and they're over in 6 of 8 games as a favorite. But I'm not sure that that Vikings are going to produce enough points to get this one over the total. Actually, I said, what did I say? 27-14. I don't know if the Vikings are going to get 14 points in this game. I'm going to lay 12.5 points with the Seattle Seahawks to pretty much smash the Vikings here. Whether or not the Vikings can recover from this situation right now and find themselves in the postseason here, I'm not sure at this point. They're pretty much toast at 4-7 here right now. So, and Mr. Wester says the defense is still viable, but the offense just has not been able to get it going this season. And let's see here. Mr. Viking, yep. Okay. Yeah, I think, we'll see, right? I mean, you got to have somebody in there, right? And whatever wasn't working out before. So I'm going to go with Seattle in this one. Even I'm going with Seattle. All right, the Buffalo Bills are taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers in the afternoon, the featured game of the afternoon card. You could say this afternoon card's not very good, but you got this one at least. But with the Bills on the road here, the Steelers have been taking money. It feels like this week with the Bills opening as high as a 4.5 point favorite, and now down here to 3. Maybe juiced up a little bit on the Buffalo side here in this one, but interesting that Pittsburgh kind of taking the money here, and this total's dropped to 45.5. Yeah, it could be a little bit of a more weather situation here in Pittsburgh here this Sunday. You got check the weather conditions here on Sunday afternoon. Okay, 36 degrees, cloudy skies, winds 13 to 14 miles an hour here. So a little brisk out there with the winds, but no precipitation, it looks like here in this one. Buffalo here. And look, they're funny thing happened on the way to the Super Bowl for the Buffalo Bills, right? They're basically in 7th place right now, barely hanging on. But look, they still have a great chance here. Probably going to make the playoffs, especially if they pick up this win on the road. It's the Steelers that, are in the more comfortable position here, leading the division, but at just 6-5. here. If they lose, their chances are going to diminish to about 33%. If they win, it's going to be just over 50% chance still, because of the fact that you have the Ravens still right on their heels at this point. So if the Steelers lose and they're both 6-6, 9-7 might be good enough in the AFC North this season. So, but for me, I mean, look, the Steelers taking the action here. It looks like this week. I think the Steelers are going to be able to hang in here against Buffalo right now. Both teams coming in off of a loss, but Buffalo 3-6 against the spread as a favorite. Steelers got 3 wins, 3 covers at home, 3-2 record. Against the spread, 3-2-1, I think it is actually. They're 4-2 straight up at home. Buffalo's lost 3 of 5 road games overall. Teams met last year. Remember that crazy game? It was 9-3 in favor of Buffalo. They were a 2.5-point dog on the road at Pittsburgh and won the game 9-3. There, let me see. Oh no, that was I'm sorry. It was back in a playoff game, right? January of 24, Buffalo won at 31-17. There we go. Buffalo won 31-17, covered 10 points at home against the Steelers there in that playoff game, remember, at Orchid Park. So got that one right. All right, let's see what you have in the chat here with Buffalo and Pittsburgh on Sunday, the afternoon featured game. Go into the chat, see what you guys have here. Buffalo coming in here 7-4. They've lost 3 of their last 4 road games. Here we go. Ziggy, I think, started us off. He's got the over in this one. And this is one of those games Pittsburgh shocks everyone and wins. I might be on with Dylan here. Mr. Westwood says, hard to see Buffalo blowing it, but they always do. I think is what he's saying there. All right, and Ron Jeff says Steelers here. I think, he's going to tease them there, it looks like. All right. I'm on the Steelers here. I'm on the Steelers in this one. Maybe they can even win this game. I'm going to take Pittsburgh in this one against the Buffalo Bills. I think, I think they can slow cook here a little bit. I think Jaylen Warren, I think Gainwell. Look how good Gainwell was in the last 2 games. He's been a difference maker for the Steelers in the backfield. And Warren gives them kind of that. It's more like Warren's a runner and Gainwell catching those passes out of the backfield a little bit. What's Dalton Kincaid's status? I think that's important. I mean, they do have Knox, one of the better backup tight ends or second tight ends in the league. He's questionable, so Kincaid is questionable here. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers still nursing that sore wrist, but he's going to still give it a go here. All right, and everybody, all those injuries for Pittsburgh now. DK probable there, Cam Hayward probable, Porter probable, Skoranek probable. So I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. And okay. All right, my Chargers are playing the Raiders here. And look at this one. The total's actually dropped here a couple of points to 40.5 here at this point. And doesn't seem like the Chargers, what happened to that high-powered offense that they were going to have. And we know the Raiders are in a bad way here with a big losing streak. So they're almost a double-digit underdog here. Not trusting the Chargers to win by double digits here, I don't think. I'm give another look here at the side here. Maybe before game time I can make a decision. But I'm just going to stick with the total here and go under in this one with the Raiders and the Chargers here on Sunday. Chargers obviously having some issues on offense, and probably because they can't get any consistency from the run game with Vidal here, and they're trying to get Hampton back, but he's not going to be quite ready yet. Here, hopefully be back for the playoffs. Chargers are looking okay for the playoffs right now, and currently a 63% chance. If they lose, it's going to be under 50% here right now. So kind of an important game here for the Chargers, but at least they're a nice big favorite. Chargers were on a 3-game winning streak before they lost last time out to Jacksonville. They beat Minnesota, Tennessee, and Pittsburgh. Was the toughest schedule there, but Raiders here just 4-7 against the spread this season. Chargers actually 3-2 against the spread at home. Raiders are 1-4 to the under on the road. I'm going with the under in this one with the Raiders and the Chargers here on Night Moves. Give me the under in this one with these two. Chargers have held 3 of their last opponents to under 225 yards right now, so they're getting the defense here. And when the defense is performing, that's when they've been getting their wins here. It feels like right now, Chargers have won and covered the last 4 in the series, and the Raiders have failed to cover here in 4 straight on the road against the Chargers. I think a couple of those were in the one of those may have been in the old the soccer stadium there. 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone under. I'm going to go under in this one. The first meeting this season went under 20-9. Chargers won it on the road as a 3.5-point favorite. All right, and Herbert's seeing ghosts there. Maybe Ziggy's on the Chargers. Mr. Westers might lay the points. Let's go to Sunday Night Football with the Broncos taking on the Commanders in Washington here. Denver 9-2 on a hot streak here right now. Taking on all comers, knocking them out of the park at this point, staying hot. Washington, they're on one of them big losing streak right now. They can't beat anybody here. I'm taking Washington. Of course I am in this one. Denver, 8 straight wins. The Commanders, 6 straight losses. They failed to cover the spread in 6 straight. And I'm going to take the points in this one. I don't know if I can even put any rhyme or reason to it. Everything that's going on out there. It's just, for me, a Sunday night game. The Washington Commanders are, out of it right now. They're not going to the playoffs here. Denver, everything's a struggle for the Denver Broncos, despite a 9-2 record. They're going to the playoffs. They're in, man. Doesn't matter win or lose. They're in the postseason. They're not going to blow it. Yeah, do they want to try to catch the Patriots? Sure. You got to keep winning if you want to catch the Patriots, but it feels like a flat spot to me, gang. Denver 2-5 against the spread as a favorite this year. I'm not going to tell you the Commanders against the spread. In fact, they've cost me a lot of money this year. I might be going down with them again here in this one, but I'm taking 6.5 points. Can I get 7? Pretty much 6.5 everywhere. In fact, a few 6s out there. If anything, I would say this line has actually moved to the Commanders just a tad, maybe from 6.5 to 6, juiced a little bit. I'm taking the Commanders in this one. A little bit of an upset pick here for me on Sunday night. And I'll probably also look. I like Mariota probably right now over Knicks here, maybe, but Knicks is certainly taking the heat for his inconsistent performances for sure. Broncos' last 3 games, they won them by 3 points, 3 points, and 3 points. I'm sure they'll win this game, but come on. 6 of their last 7 wins were by 4 points or less. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Commanders here plus 6.5 points. I will say this: Denver is 7-1 against the spread. Their last 8 non-conference games are also 12-3 against the spread in their last 15. And these primetime games have been going under for sure. This one at 43.5, and I don't know if you got Denver historic defense here, Commanders offense not looking that great, here. So it may be a very ugly, low-scoring game. It feels like here to me. Commanders are, like I said, failing to cover the spread. They're not really getting too much done spread-wise here, and I'm going to still take them in this one. What can I say? I might be alone. See what you got here in the chat. See, you got Mr. Wesker's with me. He wants to take Washington money line. I want to take Washington money line. Commanders for Ziggy. I'm going to take Commanders. See, I know what I'm doing with the chat all-stars here. And Mr. Wesker says a lot of the critics there. But I'll say I don't think the Denver Broncos have anything on some of these other AFC teams that once they get in the postseason here. But hey, when you got a couple of home, you get a home game or two, that will change your fortunes, right? It's like what I said about Seattle in the NFC. They play their last 2 games on the road. They could get stuck because of if they end up with still behind the Rams there, that they end up playing these road games, and you're not going to win 5 straight road games to go to the Super Bowl. I wouldn't think. I guess they could lose one of the regular season, but still playing 5 straight road games. All right, that's it for the NFL. Have a great NFL Sunday. We got some NBA I want to talk about here on Night Moves. So let's get into an 8-game card on Sunday. And started off here with, got the Rockets on the road taking on the Jazz here. Double-digit favorites here for the Rockets, 11.5 and 235. Houston 12-4 coming in. Utah off of a win here. Snapped that losing streak, beat Sacramento. No, Utah's been a pretty fine cover this year at home. 8-2 against the spread, but Houston about as good as it gets on the road. They're 8-1 against the spread on the road. The immovable object and the unstoppable force, or something like that. Now, Utah is just 8-7, however, as an underdog, and Houston is 9-5, at least against the spread, as a favorite here, but still laying double digits to a team that does have a knack for covering as a dog, especially at home. Does seem a little bit difficult. Houston's actually failed to cover in 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams. Houston's gone under in 4 of their last 5, but Utah's gone over in 7 of their last 8, and 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Still a pretty high total, and I'm not sure I want to go over. I'm going to take the Utah Jazz here, plus the points. I said I still might find my way to the under here, despite the trends indicating that it should be a high-scoring, and it says it should be a high-scoring game, but can it really get that high here at 235? I'm going to just take the Jazz in this one. So, Ziggy, Mr. West says Rockets are playing close games, right? I mean, they're winning close games. They beat Golden State by 4, but they were an underdog in that one somehow. And then they lost to Denver by 3 points, and they were favored in that game. They also beat Orlando by 4, but were favored by 7.5, remember. So I'm going to take the Jazz here in this one. All right, the Raptor. Okay, I'll just do this game here real quick. We also have the Raptors and the Knicks. The producer here messed up the order. But I'll go with this one here real quick with the Celtics on the road taking on the Cavs. It starts at the same time as this is the big group of games at 6:10 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Celtics come in here 10-9, but things have been looking up here. They did lose last game, but hey, we had them plus the points against Minnesota. They actually covered the number. Cleveland's been one of the worst spread teams here in the league so far this season, despite a good straight-up record of 12-8. They're 8-14, or 6-14 actually against the spread so far this season. 3-8 against the spread at home. 5-12 against the spread as a favorite. Now, Cleveland's 3-8 to the under at home, and Boston's 3-6 to the under on the road. But look, all the trends point to the under here, but I don't know. At 234, man, I'd usually go trend hunting here in this game, but I think it's an over, especially what we've seen on some of these games, right? The Boston game against Minnesota went for 234. The Detroit game for 231. The Orlando game was 259. I'm going to go with the over in this one between Boston and Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland is the defensive-oriented team, if you will. And that game against Atlanta went for 253 last time out. Before that, they were on a bunch of unders, though, I guarantee you that. But I'm going over in this one with the Celtics and the Cavs. And Mr. Wesker's is on the Cavs. Ziggy's on the Cavs money line here. I'm sorry, Cavs against the spread. There we go. Celtics never get those calls, right? Or is it the way their lineup is structured a little bit too, right? Okay, next up, we've got, get on the screen here first. All right, you got the Raptors here on the road taking on the New York Knicks. Toronto comes in 14-6 here, 7.5-point underdog against the 12-6 New York Knicks. The Knicks come in on a 3-game winning streak right now. Wins over Brooklyn, Charlotte, the Bucks. They were laying points in all of them. Covered the spread in all of them. Very similar to this setup. But Toronto comes in, finally lost last time in an upset at Charlotte. We were on Charlotte there yesterday in that game, and Charlotte got it done. The Knicks are 9-1 against the spread at home this season. Meanwhile, Toronto 4-3 is an underdog this season against the number. Like I said, they were on a big winning streak and finally got upset there a little bit. Toronto's just 1-7 in the last 8 games against the spread against the Knicks. 9 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but the Knicks have gone under in 5 of their last 6, and the Raptors have gone under in 6 of their last 7 games. Raptors are 8-12 to the under so far this season, although they are 4-3 to the over as an underdog here. So let's see how you guys have it here in this one with the Raptors and the Knicks. I think the Knicks are going to get this one and cover the spread tonight. The Raptors have been terrific, and we're not giving up on the Raptors at all. They've been pretty good at making money here of late. It's the Knicks that have been the profitable team, it feels like, here right now. And I'm going to take them in this one. They've covered 9 of the last 13 games overall. Toronto's been great. Covered 10 of their last 15, one of the hottest teams in the league as well. But I'm going to take the Knicks here in this one. They've owned this series. They've covered here the last time the two teams met. They have not met yet this season, but the Knicks won and covered at home, 121-115. Or they covered in Toronto, actually, and covered at home in a 112-98 win. Boy, that score sounds interesting right there. But Toronto's been great, but I'm going to take the Knicks here to cover in this one. And Ziggy's going to be with me here on the Knicks. Hawks and Sixers now here with the Hawks on the road, an underdog here. Sixers favored by 1.5. Total here 233.5 here in this one. Atlanta comes in 12-8. The Sixers are 10-8 right now. They're coming in off of a win, beat Brooklyn, got the money in that one. For Atlanta here, meanwhile, they are off of a win over Cleveland, 130-123, an upset at home. They were an underdog in that game. Atlanta 7-5 against the spread on the road, 6-4 ATS as an underdog. Philadelphia, though, here meanwhile 5-2 ATS as a favorite. They are a favorite here. And this total at 233.5, however, I think that's where I'm going to focus my attention on. Philadelphia has gone under in 6 of their last 9 games coming in. Atlanta's an over team, no doubt about it. But at 233.5, I'm going to go under in this one. Atlanta's kind of done pretty well in this series. They've covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two. But I'm going to go under here as my play at 233.5. And this one, give me the under, Atlanta and Philly. All right, Ziggy might be with me again in this one. Ziggy and I are clicking tonight. And Mr. Wesker says that Philadelphia just got bad chemistry with when Embiid and Paul George are in the game. Get them out of there. Let's see the other players in there that helped this team to a great start. Now you get these guys back in there, and they're going the opposite direction. All right. How about the Thunder here on the road, taking on the Blazers tonight? And Thunder favored by 12. It's always a matter of how much pain can you stand when it comes to OKC, 19-1 here, going for the greatest record, the greatest team of all time. Portland's 8-11. They've been alternating wins and losses here of late. They're off of a loss to San Antonio at home as a 1-point favorite. They beat Milwaukee on the road, and before that, they played OKC. Lost on the road, 122-95 there in that one. Definitely went under as Portland really didn't get much scoring going on. Portland here not really covering the numbers here of late, just 3-7 in their last 10 overall right now for the Blazers. Also, they've lost 4 of their last 5 at home and 6 of their last 8 overall. But Oklahoma City, just 2-5 ATS in their last 7. They are 12-6 against the spread, last 18 against the Portland Trailblazers. I'm going to go over, though, in this one at 232.5. Portland is 12-7 to the over this season. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. And I'm going to take the over in this one with OKC and Portland here in this one. Ziggy likes the Thunder here to cover again. Yeah, we're seeing the final here of the golf tournament here. Just finishing up here over on the DP World Tour. And it is the Spaniard here, David Puig, has won this tournament here just now by 2 strokes here. So, hey, we got some action here in the middle of the night. Just wrapping up with the golf tournament here. And everyone's favorite, Wen Yi Ding, came in second. All right, the Spurs and the Timberwolves here in this one. Good matchup here. Spurs 13-5 coming in. Minnesota 11-8. Minnesota 3.5-point favorite. Spurs are still without their man, of course, coming in with Victor Wembanyama. But like I said, we've been talking about it, right? It hasn't really mattered, it feels like, so far of this season. Let's see here. Yeah, 3.5 and 231.5. The Spurs have won the 2 straight coming into this one. Wins over Denver and Portland. They covered the spread. Spurs are 4-1 against the spread as underdogs this season. Minnesota, meanwhile, is just 3-6 against the spread at home. They just failed at home to Boston, won by 4. They were favored by 5.5. They also were on a 3-game losing streak before that, losing on the road. And before that, they won at home against Washington. They didn't cover a big number there. San Antonio's gone over in 5 of 8 games on the road. Minnesota's been trending under here of late, but I might be on another over here, believe it or not. For San Antonio here, they've gone 6-2 against the spread against Minnesota in their last 8 meetings. They've covered 5 of their last 6 overall. Minnesota's won 5 straight home games over San Antonio here. Minnesota's gone under in 8 of their last 9. San Antonio's gone under in 5 of their last 7, but I am going over here in this one between San Antonio and Minnesota. I think specifically for me in this matchup, the reason why I like the over here in the game between the Spurs and the Wolves, kind of the matchup for the Spurs backcourt with De'Aaron Fox and Devin Vassell in here, and I like the matchup for them against Minnesota's backcourt. So I don't know yet about the side. I'm going to take the over in this one at 231.5. Right. Ziggy's on the Wolves on the money line, but Mr. Weskers might take the Spurs on the money line. And the Wolves might be a good spot there after the game there we mentioned against Boston that they won. They did win it, but Boston did cover. All right, you got Memphis here, 8-12, taking on the Kings, 5-15. The Kings have lost 2 in a row here with losses to Phoenix and Utah. They were underdogs in both those games. They've been underdogs in just about every game here of late. Grizzlies here on the road, 3.5-point favorites. Total 232.5 here in this one. For Memphis, they are 6-2 against the spread as a favorite this season. Meanwhile, Sacramento just 7-13 ATS, 2-7 against the spread at home. Minnesota's gone under in 13 of their 20 games so far this season. They're also 3-7 to the under on the road, but I think Memphis is going to have a pretty easy night. Actually, I'd be more apt to take Memphis here to put up a big number kind of on the road here tonight against the Sacramento Kings. I'm going to take the Memphis Grizzlies to win and cover here on the road against Sacramento here tonight. Should be a great matchup for the Kings are dreadful. Okay, first of all, defensively here, yeah, their totals aren't necessarily going over, but I think they're going to go over here tonight. They just gave up 128 points at Utah. I'm going to go with the over here. I'm taking Memphis is the official play game for me. I'm giving Memphis. I think you heard what I'm doing though here with the total. There's Ziggy though; he does like the Kings in this one, and Mr. Weskers. All right, we talked about that story. One more in the NBA tonight. You guys talked about the Lakers a little earlier. Let's talk about them right now. New Orleans comes in 3-17. They've lost a couple more in a row here currently to Golden State and Memphis. The Lakers continue to look impressive, man. Just amazing, to see what a little bit of drama, whatever, with LeBron to start the season, with uh, Luka, whatever, and the Lakers kind of shaking up their front office a little bit. The sale of the team here, everything that's gone on with the Lakers, and right now they're winning games like it was 1979 or something here right now. The Lakers 14.5 point favorites here. Now that's going to be that one I'm not so sure on here at this point. We'll see. They've been covering pretty much everything. They didn't cover though last time against Dallas, laying 10.5, but they laid 13 to Utah and covered. They didn't cover though when they went into Utah. They still won, and they did cover against the Clippers, who were looking like a joke at this point. New Orleans here, meanwhile, did cover against the Warriors last time out, and they also won a cover against the Bulls in their win, and they also covered against Dallas here recently. So, for me, though, I got to go over. The Lakers are 8-0 the over at home so far this season. New Orleans, they are 11-8 to the over as a dog, although they are 4-5 to the under on the road. Lakers are just on fire. Reeves, is he an all-star? Yeah, he is. Is he an NBA at least a second teamer? Probably. The Lakers legitimately have 3 big stars on their team because of the breakout season here. We already knew Austin Reeves was pretty good, but after seeing him score these 69 points in the last 2 games, no one's doubting at this point. They did get that win there over Dallas. He had 38 points in 41 minutes. Reeves has been the breakout star of the league pretty much, and it gets hidden because you're playing behind LeBron and Luka. I got to go over in this one with the Lakers. 8-0 at home to the over so far are the Lakers, although just 5-4 the over is a favorite, should make note. But I got to go with the over in this one as my play. All right, Mr. Wesker's trying to find a way on the Pelicans here, but they might be getting enough points. I haven't quite figured it out yet. Mr. Wesker says they are fraudulent, but Reeves makes them, you know what? I mean, that's the thing. You want to point out the weaknesses that they have with LeBron and Luka, the two, areas that they do have. They're not playing tremendous defense out there, these two guys. Under for Ziggy here. And Mr. Weskers, he says Reeves is Eck. I think it means Eck. And let's see here. Yeah, Braun's not going to play any defense. I've got the over. And Steven says, what about UFC 323? Man, there's some good UFC coming up. We'll be having that White House event this year. So much for getting 30,000 people in there, right? Oh, my God, Latifa, hello. Hello, Latifa. Miss you. Great to have you here in the chat. Let's go over in the Laker game. Let's go to the Laker game. Hi, Latifa. So good to see you. Thank you, my friend. Great to see you here on Night Moves. All right. This is where we, on the Tony's Picks channel, this is where we used to hang out. The host of, right, Mr. Weskers? Look, Mr. Weskers and I agree on one thing. The White House should have a ballroom. I mean, come on. Why is everybody criticizing? They should have the biggest ballroom in the world in the White House. Of course it should. Jeez, it's the White House. You want to host big events and ballrooms. All right. That's it for the NBA. Just for Mr. Weskers, I'm going to look at college basketball next. But I've only got 2 games. I think I really don't have that much going on right now in college. Maybe I've got a few picks, but right now we're doing pretty well on the picks. We got to have some premiums in college basketball. It's kind of a not a great card here. So I've got 2 games to look at. I'm going to start off here with Bonaventure going up against Florida Atlantic. This is like the featured matchup, you guys, I think. If you could find a better game than this one, let me know. Maybe it'll be the next one. I've only got 2 games here to look at today. I mean, it's NFL Sunday. I'm not going to preview a bunch of games when they go up against the NFL, right? The afternoon, you can kind of, especially with this afternoon card, you might take a look at this later game. But let me look at this one here with Bonaventure taking on FAU. Bonaventure coming in 6-1. FAU's 5-2. Bonaventure's been winning games but not covering. Remember last year how good of a cover they were, but this year they've been a little bit overrated. A little bit. They're 6-1 straight up, but 2-5 against the spread so far. But they are an underdog in this game to FAU. Now they are just 0-1 as an underdog this season. FAU, meanwhile, they're 5-2 straight up, 3-0 at home, 4-0 straight up as a favorite. They're also 4-0 against the spread at home right now is FAU, and 4-0 as a favorite against the spread. So laying 4 here against a team that doesn't cover. Like I said, you want Bonaventure. It feels like maybe more as a dog. This might be maybe this is the right role for them, I think. But man, it is. It's a pretty. This might be a close game. This might be a close game. I'm going to go ahead and take Bonaventure here +4. The trends would say to take FAU here, but I'm going to take St. Bonaventure +4 points in this one. Teams met 2 years ago. FAU won 64-54. It was around this almost the same time in 2 years ago. And thank you, Latifa. Well, it's just great to see you in there. Mr. Weskers likes the Bonnies. Maybe you could join me. I'm doing this show at 2:30 a.m. Eastern, or as Mr. Weskers will tell you, sometime after that. I got to get the show ready. It's almost midnight here when I get it going. It's just a late night show, a late night vibe called Night Moves. Thought I'd do a show here to post up on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. So proud to be a part again of the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. All right. Thanks, Latifa. Smash it, like it, pass it around. Tony's Picks YouTube channel. All right. One more here on the college ranks, and I'm going to look at it here with UC Irvine taking on San Jose State. At least this one's in the afternoon a little bit. Maybe you can check this one out. Goes off at 5 Eastern, 2 I think at 5 Eastern. Let me see here. Yeah, 5 Eastern and 2 Pacific. Irvine is 4-4, and San Jose State's 3-4. Both teams coming in here off of a win. San Jose beat Loyola of Illinois 63-61. UCI with a 64-52 win over South Dakota State, laying 2.5. San Jose State is 2-0 straight up at home. UCI is 1-5 against the spread so far this season. These two teams are combined 4-8 to the under so far. San Jose is 0-3 to the under at home. UCI is 1-4 to under as a favorite. I think they're still favored here by 1.5 or so. So for me in this one, I got to take the under here in this one with Cal Irvine and San Jose State. Give me the under in this one. All right, that's all I have, unless you got a request or so for the games here on Sunday. Okay. And Mr. Weskers, he says he was trying to find a way I think he spelled two wrong. He was trying to find a way to San Jose. Do you know the way to San Jose? All right. Mr. Westers wants to know maybe about USD. Is that what he's talking about? USD in Long Beach in there? Is that the one, Mr. Westers, that you wanted to? You're suggesting we possibly look at there? Yeah, is he like San Jose? Oh, on this one on the money line. Yeah, we're gonna do it right now, Latifa. Let's do it. Let's do it together. Let's do the hockey. Well, Mr. Wesker, yeah, okay. For you, Mr. Weskers, I got it here. I'm going with a double play. Double play here for Mr. Weskers. I'm going to take USD on the road here. Give me USD. And I like the under, Mr. Weskers. Give me USD and the under in that game. I'm going to give a double play out here. USD minus one, what is it, 1.5? And the total is at 140. What is it, 147? Oh, man. It's really going down. 148.5. Give me USD and the under. I'm going to go with USD and the under. Double play for Mr. Weskers. We'll see if we can do it. All right, Latifa, let's go. We've got 4 games on the ice here on Sunday night. And we're going to start it off here with the Caps. I still could use some help on these goalies. Okay. Capitals and Islanders here start us off. Capitals come in here 14-9-2. The Islanders are 13-9-3. Capitals are back to heating up here a little bit with a 3-game winning streak. Wins over Columbus, Winnipeg, and Toronto. They've been in pretty good form here of late. They're 11-6 as a favorite this season. Islanders, meanwhile, 9-5 as an underdog. Talk about profitable teams. I think you put the Islanders right in here right now. They're up 3.5 units this season, although they are down 3 units at home at a 5-5-2 record. They're a slight underdog here in this game against the Capitals here. Capitals are 5-4-1 on the road. They're mostly a break-even proposition here so far this season. Washington's been a bit of an under here of late. Washington having gone under here actually over in 4 of their last 6, but under in 7 of their last 11 here, I think. Islanders have gone under in 7 of their last 8 coming in. 6 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Islanders have actually lost 8 of the last 11 games at home against Washington coming in. Washington's actually won 13 of the last 20. Washington's won 13 of the last 20 games overall between these two teams. Like I said, Washington starting to heat up here a little bit once again. And I could hear from you if you'd like in the chat in this one between Washington and the Islanders here on Sunday. I'm going to go with the under here in this one between Washington and the Islanders. You got Logan Thompson in here, expected. Thompson still with good numbers, 2.15 goals against. Sorokin, 2.7 goals against. Give me the under here on Night Moves. Under 6 goals. And Latifa's on the Caps here. And you guys didn't even say anything about the double parenthesis around Thompson's name. There we go. Oh, one more comment there. Timothy Ock is here. Hello, Timothy. And hello to Warren Swaga in there. Good morning. It's going to be a great day here for sure in the NFL and more. Next up, the Ducks are on the road taking on the Blackhawks. How about it? Ducks coming in here 15, 8, and 1. Can you believe it? Ducks continuing to lead the Pacific Division. They're actually tied on 31 points with the Kings. Chicago's found their way to a losing streak here right now. A little bit of concern. They're probably overshot their expectations early on. They're now down to 10, 9, and 5 currently with an L string here, but that's all right. They've lost 5 in a row. They've lost 4 of their last 5 at home, but they do kind of play well against the Ducks, even though this is a new Ducks. Chicago's won 13 of the last 17 meetings between these two teams, but Anaheim still, they've been alternating wins and losses here of late, but they still have won 11 of their last 16 coming in, 4-2 as a favorite for the Ducks. Ducks are 5-1 to the over as a favorite here of late. They've gone over in 6 of their last 9 on the road. Chicago's gone over in 4 of their last 6. Ducks have gone over in 4 of their last 5. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over. The teams just met 6 weeks ago. Chicago won it 2-1 6 weeks ago. 2-1, Chicago won it at home. Let's see what you folks have here with Anaheim taking on Chicago in this one. I've got another under here, though, I think, between Anaheim and Chicago. I'm showing Mrazek in there for the Ducks. We know Dostal is out here, I believe, right now. So they've got Mrazek in there. 3.69 goals against. Soderblom, 3.53 goals against. These guys do have some inflated numbers here. And the total, though, at least I believe is 6.5 flat, maybe even shaded the over. So I'm going to take the under here in this one, actually, between the Ducks and the Blackhawks. Like I said, I think the series has been pretty much an under series here of late. 4 out of the last 5. The game that went over was last March, 6-5. Chicago won it at Anaheim. All right. Let's see what we got here in this one. Maybe it's the Ducks. They are the speedy team here. Oh, Latifa likes the over, and we got the Latifa challenge. We need our own challenge, says Latifa. Oh, yeah, I'm going to take the under here. I might be on the under on the salami here. 4-game salami, though. I need more games to bet the salami. What did they call the Thanksgiving football? The Grand Gobbler? All right, Flames taking on the Hurricanes here. Flames 9, 14, and 3. Think of how they've struggled, and all of a sudden they're getting back a little bit here. The Flames have won a few games here of late. They're actually playing a little bit better than Carolina. Flames here with wins over Florida, Vancouver, Dallas, and Buffalo. They lost to Tampa. Carolina, meanwhile, coming in off of a win over Winnipeg. Did have losses here recently to Minnesota, Buffalo, and the Rangers. Calgary still just 5-10 away from home this season straight up. 7-15 straight up as an underdog. It's a huge line here for sure, with Carolina favored here at minus 240 or so, and the total here is 6.5. Calgary's lost 8 of the last 10 to Carolina, including 5 straight here at Carolina. 5-0 straight up at home is Carolina over Calgary. Carolina's gone over in 9 of their last 12 at home. 11 of the last 15 meetings between these two have gone under, but Calgary's gone over in 5 straight on the road, actually, which, interestingly enough, let me get it straight here. Okay. Calgary's gone over in 12 of 16 road games this season. Carolina's gone over in 9 of 11 home games this season. Wow. What did I say? Did I have it right? Calgary's gone over in 6 of their last 7, 5 straight on the road. Carolina's gone over in 9 of their last 12 at home. 11 of the last 15 have gone under in the head-to-head matchup. Okay, I can read my notes here. Forgive me. A lot of overs. A lot of overs. That's what we're going to say here in this one between Calgary and Carolina. And I'll take the over. Why not? Give me the over in this one. Venue specific, right? 21-6 to the over. Okay. Yeah, this one's tough. There's the Grand Gobbler. And finally, we got the Senators here taking on Dallas. Dallas $1.45. Total, 6 under 15, but it might be 5.5 actually. I see some 5.5 overs out there, so take your pick. Ottawa coming in 12-8-4. We're looking at the game of the day here. It feels like, right? Dallas 16-5-4 right now. 3-game winning streak coming in, having defeated Edmonton, Seattle, and Utah. Tough games against Seattle and Utah. Played well in those games, but still, Dallas here been on a roll right now. Dallas currently, trailing Colorado for sure, but still 9-1-3. I'm sorry, 7-4-1 at home. They're actually a little bit better on the road, but Ottawa's lost 5 of the last 6 meetings here in Dallas. Dallas has won 9 of 11. They've won 6 of their last 8 at home. 12 of the last 18 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Ottawa's gone under in 5 of their last 7 on the road coming into this one. I got to take Ottawa here. I'm taking Ottawa in an upset. Give me the Senators here, money line in this one. I've got Ottawa to upset Dallas here. Ottawa will have Ullmark in goal. Ullmark with a 2.94 goals against. Ottinger 2.86 goals against. I'm going to take Ottawa to win this one. All right, that's it. Oh, okay, Mr. Wesker says Dallas. Latifa doesn't like Ottawa. Okay, I'm taking Ottawa. And that's it. That's it. Just the 4 games in the NHL. And Night Moves is over. Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate you being here. Great night. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine on Sunday. Like I said, I'm coming here pretty hot right now. Take a look at some of these winners here. Sacramento State and Pacific. Said this one that the Tigers could do it here. And let's see, Northwestern Illinois under in the football game, a winner there, thanks to a little bit of snow maybe. Wake Forest and Duke, we had Duke in that one. So you have the write-ups I give in there. You got a little something to read as well. Why I like Micah's side. Why I might like a side while I like. Kentucky and Louisville, we had that one under, even though it was 41-0. Indiana, we had Indiana on Saturday to blow them out. And remember that one I said right here. I said that Indiana might put up nearly a 50 burger here. Well, they did. They put up 56. All right, Florida and State and Texas A&M, some other winners here with me over at Tony'sPicks.com. So check it out. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15%. That's going to do it here for Night Moves. I'll be back tomorrow at hopefully sometime after 2:30 a.m. Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific. Get you ready for the action on Monday night, including the Monday night football game here this week between the New York Giants and the New England Patriots, plus some other Monday action as well. So make sure you're joining me here on Night Moves on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Really proud to have well over 6 dozen of you in here on the live show right now. So really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow to join me here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. And for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves.